can remember starting in nursery, and they had some skittles and they made of wood, they weren't plastic like that. And this lad once hit me on the head with one of them, burst me there. And all they did, teachers, they'd get a penny and say, put penny over it like that, bandage round your head and say, if you're a good boy and you don't cry, you can keep that penny.
My first day at school, and my mum taking me in, and I was looking at all these kids, and teacher said to me, is there anybody who you know? And I didn't know anybody, and I said, I know her there, and I come and sat with this girl, and she wouldn't talk to me, and I remember I had to wear brown knickers. Brown knickers.
It was a local school. There was 3 teachers in it, 3 lady teachers. You started at 3, and in them days the nursery, they had beds in, you actually went to sleep for an hour during the school time.
Altofts infant school in Pontefract. I remember going there. Somehow I seem to remember the first day going. My auntie took me, and I have a vivid memory of having a banana in my pocket.
They all had these canes, everyone had a cane. Like one had a chair leg and one had a long cane. And one at teacher, I remember him went to whack this lad's hand and he smashed all lights above. Of course kids couldn't stop laughing, so.
If you were naughty at school, you got sent for the headmaster, but then you got it when you get home.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter's a school teacher, and I can tell you it's a completely different ball.
We got his legs smacked.
Oh, we got.
If you were naughty in class, you got your legs smacked.
I went infants in what Church of England school down High Street. They were quite good there, but when we went up to then the secondary modern school, from 11-year-old to 16, if you didn't pay attention, which probably children don't like, they don't now, they wouldn't get shouted at, you get a crack right head, or you get a blackboard rubber going at you.
If you did out wrong, you used to get your hair there, pull your hair and go like that. And if you try that, oh, it kills you. You used to be stood on the tip of your toes. So you didn't do out wrong in this class.
We used to go into the science room,
Yeah.
and when the teacher was busy on blackboard, whatever, where me and my mate used to sit was a trapdoor.
And you used to go to
Through here, through the cellar, run over the road, and off we went to the park.
Can you remember Mr. Lee down in Sanchef School?
Yeah.
He used to have you in his office, but he never caned you, did he?
No.
No?
No.
They used to say to you...
Just a look.
He used to say to us, girls, and when you go out pretending you've got a bad hand and you've been caned, so we all used to come out ready to cry, and he never caned us.
Girls had one playground and boys were in other playground. That side at boys' playground there were our houses, and you used to knock on windows. And same again, can you get me a cup of water please? I'm running and I'm, yeah. Classroom was near the back door. So if that back door were open in winter, it blew straight into her classroom. So she had somebody sat at front desk, and every time that door was left open, he had to get up and go and shut it. And I think she gave him a penny a week for that. Well, a penny in them days, you could call it. Shop got a packet of broken biscuits for a penny.
And I remember we used to have at lunchtime, we used to have to cross our arms on the table and go to sleep. I remember that. Martin Frobisher, I can't remember feeling that I had a problem. I remember knit nurse coming. I remember outside toilets. I remember when it was foggy, we used to play in the field at the back, which is still a field, there's no houses on it, luckily enough. Because I hadn't got a dad, I remember when they used to have a jumble sale, teacher used to say, tell your mum she can come in early to have a look at the jumble. I remember at harvest festivals, they used to say, tell your mum she don't have to send anything. So I sensed at that age that I was different because I hadn't got a dad.
But when you were in class, you said, put your hand up, you were having 3 dinners, and there were 3 of us. And I used to feel embarrassed. And I said to my mum, when I became 11 and went down to the modern school, which is Freeston High School now, and I said, I'm not having free, I'm not putting my hand up in class to tell them I have free dinner. So do you want to come home then? She said, you know, there won't be much to it. I said, I don't care, I'll just come home. And she used to get them little pork pies like that, and I'd have 2 of them small pork pies and a glass of water for dinner.
Everybody just came home in them days, except for if somebody's dad had been killed out pit or different things, they got free dinners. But everybody else used to come home. So we used to race to see who could get first at fish shop, then take them home and, you know, and eat them at home, then back to school. If you took a pile of newspapers, they just give you the bag of chips free.
And when I was younger, and my mum, who never worked but at home, when we came home from school, there was always a tea on table, whatever it was. I vaguely can't remember, because I'd come home and grab a banana sandwich or a jam sandwich, and then I'd be straight out up on fields playing football.